as ESPN's Bill Connolly, Heather Dinich, David Hale, Adam Rittenberg, and Tom Van Haren spent part of the offseason putting together proposals to fix the year-round schedule of college football. And then, after they put those proposals together, they polled people, decision makers, and those who could be directly impacted on the pros and the cons of some of these theoretical changes in the game. And there's some stuff in here that's kind of radical. There's some stuff in here that causes a little bit of twisting of the mind. But if you go into it with an open mind, there's some pretty cool stuff in here as well. Evidenced, at least, you may not care what Kevin Warren's opinion is, but he's one of the people that was polled. And he says, everything that you have on here, there's not one thing that I looked at here that says, that's crazy. These are the issues we need to address. Beginning with bowl games. What is the tired cliche that goes along with bowl season? I'm asking you guys.
Too many.
Okay, too many? And?
They're meaningless.
There you go. Those are the two complaints, right? Too many bowl games, and they are meaningless. So what do they say about preseason camp and bowl games? They say that fall camps, preseason camps, they called them fall camps, I'm not, start on July 21st, and they run through mid-August. And then from the third Saturday in August through Labor Day, we embark on bowl season. Bowl season is not at the end of the year. It is at the beginning of a new season. Who says you need to finish your dinner before you can have dessert? They right? It's the greatest thing about being a grown-up, by the way. We're moving bowl games from the end of the year to late summer, kicking off college football season with some of its best matchups. In doing so, fall camps may need to open a week earlier, but it's a worthy trade-off for what could be gained by rethinking the bowl calendar. Here's what they say about why it works. Let's face it, bowl games are anachronisms, a system based on traditions from a century ago that rarely function well for modern purposes. The NCAA didn't even recognize statistics from bowl games before 2001, but if we abandon one of the biggest traditions, playing the games a month or more after the season ends, a schedule designed to accommodate travel during a time well before charter flights, the rest of the pieces actually fall into place quite nicely. They point out that player opt-outs before bowl games have become the norm. NFL hopefuls can reduce the risk of injury in non-playoff games and begin their draft preparation. It's not a problem if your bowl matchup is actually week 1 of the season instead of a month after your season has already ended. They say you think bowl games don't have any meaning? These non-conference matchups would be some of the most important games of the year for every team. Think there are too many bowl games? Nope, actually not enough. In this system, everyone is eligible to play, though not everyone will land an official neutral site bowl game. Some teams will play on campus based on the number of bowl host sites, with the previous season's record helping to determine the bowl site and the opponent. And since the games are played in August, with the biggest matchups coming over a holiday weekend, it sets up perfectly for fans to travel while opening up more locations in the Northeast, Midwest, and even abroad to host games. And they say most importantly would be creating a 10-day college football extravaganza that would rival the opening weekend of the NCAA basketball tournament, wall-to-wall bowl action with no competition from the NFL to whet your appetite for the season ahead. Who wouldn't be excited to see Tulane and Hawaii kick off at midnight on a Tuesday, followed by a new bowl game in Dublin, Ireland, pitting Boston College against Northwestern at 8 a.m. on Wednesday. And don't worry, the most tradition-rich bowls, the current New Year's Six, still get played at season's end as part of our newly designed playoff.
That's what I needed to hear. I was like, how do you finish the season? I think it'd be cool to imagine having a bowl selection show at the end of the season. You're like, all right, so next year you're starting off in the Liberty Bowl. You're starting off in the Texas Bowl, wherever. That's where you are. You got 9 months to plan your trip and everything else like that. And then the really good teams are in the playoff, and they have that as well. I can get behind it. I'm having trouble wrapping my head around it, but I could get behind it, I think.
Yeah, people are so resistant to change that the immediate reaction from a lot of college football fans will be, no, that's terrible. When they expand the playoff, because they will, 12 or 16, whatever the number is, bowl games just continue to lose more and more meaning, and more and more players will not play in them. I love bowl season, though. I'm a big bowl game guy. This is a great idea. This is, because I've often wondered what bowl season would feel like once they expand the playoff. Because you've got Ohio State players who, by the way, won the Rose Bowl last year, saying we didn't win anything a year ago. We won nothing. The season was a failure. You won the Rose Bowl in an incredible game, but that's how even that game is thought of now. We won nothing last season. That's how they think. So if that's a season opener as opposed to a season ender where a bunch of your best players aren't even participating, it's really compelling.